born on autopilot before I touch dirt. Okay.
Hey guys, what's up? Zach Evanesh here, GetWrestlingStrength.com, and today is Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, which normally used to be the start of wrestling season in New Jersey. For some schools, such as the prep schools, private schools, they've started, but the public schools can't start till Monday. So this is perfect timing for me to get in and hook you guys up with 3 critical tips for in-season training. And the reason why this is so important to me is because this could make or break your success this season. It could literally cancel out all the hard work that you've done in the off season. I've been there before, and I just don't want to see any other wrestler have to go through these painful mistakes. And a lot of times coaches think that if they just do certain exercises, such as Olympic lifts, or use certain training tools such as kettlebells, you know, that they're on the right page. But that's not true. It comes down to how you implement these training tools, the intensity that you use, as well as what trait you focus on, such as do we focus on conditioning in season, do we focus on strength, power, what do we focus on more? So number one tip I want to get into is maximize your time in the practice room. What I see a lot of wrestlers do, at least in New Jersey, because wrestling clubs are so they're just literally everywhere. Every 10 to 15 minutes you could hit a new wrestling club. They stop all training and just increase their amount of wrestling. So they wrestle Monday through Saturday, unless it's a match. So let's assume they're wrestling 12 to 15 hours a week with all their practices. Then they start going to club more, 3, 4 extra workouts a week. Now they're at 20 plus hours of wrestling a week. This is a huge mistake. It's, you know, it almost kind of brings me like thinking about like football. Football players practice so much, yet there are so many errors in a game. With wrestling, you start overdoing it, especially in season, you will burn out. You will start accruing overuse injuries, and basically it's not going to be fun for you. And I know this is like some crazy novel idea, but wrestling should be fun, and the training should be fun. And of course, when you're successful, that's going to make it a lot more fun. So number one, maximize your time in the practice room. Your drilling should be extremely intense and focused. That could be one of your best conditioning tools right there. That can replace your need to go and do extra running or extra conditioning unless you're just so deconditioned. A lot of kids do long distance running in season, and that brings me to number 2. Never have I found one thing to be so detrimental to the success of wrestlers, especially in season. If you want to hit a distance run, 2 to 3 hard miles, that's my idea of a distance run, maybe once a week, I'm fine with that. But I would rather see other styles of training implemented to improve your conditioning, and long distance running is certainly one that I want you to avoid like the plague. And especially the big guys, it's just going to beat up your body. Think about it. Long distance running doesn't train your fast twitch muscle fibers. It doesn't contribute or help you become more explosive on the mat. If you're going to be running 3-4 miles, is it a sprint? Does it take 6-7 minutes like a typical match does? No. You got to think about this. You're going at a real slow to moderate, steady pace. So that's going to have minimal, if any, carryover to your ability to wrestle explosively, aggressively. And it's also going to burn you out. So that was tip number 2. So number 1, you want conditioning. When you drill, you should be drilling like a badass. When I attended the John Smith Intensive Camp, he said that his best form of conditioning came from high-intensity drilling. And I saw him drill, and it was like a madman possessed. And I know you might be thinking, how do we compare a high school wrestler to a gold medalist? That's not the point, nor do I want to come up with excuses. The point is, he used drilling to maximize all facets of wrestling, to get better at technique, to build speed, endurance, to keep technique when you're fatigued, and to improve the specific kind of conditioning you need as a wrestler on the mat. So don't say, oh, he's a gold medalist and a world champ, I can't do that. look at what you could learn from the most successful wrestlers. So when he was drilling, he said that if he was to walk in on a team drilling, he should not know if they're actually drilling or live wrestling. That's the level of intensity it should be at. And I've seen some wrestlers drilling like they're half asleep. Now, if you've got a training partner that drills like that, dump them. Get rid of them. Push the pace. Make wrestlers, make your training partners be forced to keep up with your intensity level. So quick recap of the two. Number one, maximize your time in practice. You don't need to start going to a wrestling club 4 or 5 days a week on top of your 6 days a week of wrestling. It's overkill. Number two, really avoid long distance running or any style of training that doesn't develop the specific needs of a wrestler. So it's not going to develop your fast twitch, explosive needs. You know, jogging, long distance running won't do it. Utilize a style of training that will do it. Tip number three, listen to your body. If you feel that you're really pushing the envelope and you're doing a lot of in-season training on top of your workouts, then back up. Back off a little bit. Let your body rest and recuperate, and you will come back stronger. Here's what you need to do is you need to look at rest and recovery and nutrition just as intensely as you look at your training, because those are training parameters. Those are parts of your training. If all you're focused on is wrestling and you're not focused on getting to bed early, so cut out your Facebook, your Twitter, text messaging your girlfriend late at night, boom, lights out at 10 p.m., 10:30 p.m., wake up on time without rushing to get to school, so you have a quality, healthy breakfast, a blend of protein, healthy fats, and carbohydrates. Because in season, now you're going to look to have breakfast, lunch, and there's no longer that, meal when you come home from school. Your lunch in high school might be 10:30 a.m. or 11 a.m. the latest. Then you're not eating until dinner time. So from 10:30 to maybe 6:30 p.m., we're looking at 8 hours of no food, which is very brutal on the body. As soon as you come home from practice, you need a healthy dinner. And I wouldn't even be adverse to you having a post-workout shake, a whey protein shake, to help replace the torn down muscle tissue that you get from wrestling practice. Wrestling is like lifting weights. You're lifting, you're pushing and pulling against resistance. That tears down muscle tissue. So I want to see you guys as healthy as possible, as explosive as possible, and as motivated as possible. And the way to stay motivated is you have fun. So those are the 3 tips hooking you up from GetWrestlingStrength.com. And if you've got any more questions, you could drop a comment below. You could check us out on Facebook.com/WrestlingStrength. And link to this video is our in-season wrestling program for 12 weeks. Follow it to the T, and it will certainly take your training and your success to a whole nother level. It is the training programs that our wrestlers follow in season, and we've had a lot of wrestlers go to states and by far exceed their prior season success. And what's not ironic is that when kids follow our in-season program and they meet up against a kid who didn't take our advice, who dropped out of the program in season and decided to double the amount of wrestling they do and skip the performance work, the kid that followed the right training is the wrestler that came out on top. So it's a lot of food for thought there, but take action with those 3 steps, and I'm linking you up below to our in-season wrestling program. Questions, feel free to hit us up on our fan page, and good luck this season. And if you're in Jersey, hopefully you come by the Underground Strength Gym. If not, I hope to see you in Atlantic City. And if you're outside of Jersey or even outside of the country, best of luck to you. Peace.